Hi guys!
Hi.
Welcome back to the Chaotic Cuticle Club.
Hi, guys. How is everyone this week? Because I am befuddled. How are
How
you
has your
guys?
week been,
No, no,
Susie?
no. How's your week been? Because you've
Well,
been at Maisie's.
I have, yeah. I've had a good week. Yeah. Yeah, it's been good. It's been the polar opposite of last week.
Good.
Yeah, I had my busiest week with clients last week.
Amazing.
And then on Sunday night, I went to Maisie's Nowtech soiree, winter soiree,
Did you have a good
which
time?
was good fun. Yeah, it was good fun. I got a nice goodie bag full of new things, and I won the raffle and I won the competition.
Yes, tell us about the competition, please, and show us your
I
nails.
did. I won the creative masterpiece category for these.
So well
For any
deserved.
for anyone listening, you'll have to go over to my Instagram. But I
Yeah.
painted like a winter wonderland
Oh my
scene,
God. Like,
little
seriously,
cabin.
when I saw them, I was like, that you'll be winning that creative masterclass thing because they are divine. They were like so intricate, so detailed. They were my favouriteest out of
I did
everybody.
really enjoy creating them. I can't lie. I love a landscape painting on nails.
Yeah, you really, because you're
Not. I
really
don't
good at
think
it.
it's something that many clients want, but I love it.
Get on that and just niche down and tell people that's what you
I
want.
won a nail craft
Oh, oh,
goodie box of stuff from the raffle. Got a couple of base
oh,
coats, primer, some crystals,
oh.
bracelet, another
I
builder
love
gel,
Shan.
a pro gel colour, which look at
Oh,
that pink. If that pink was not made for me. There's some crystals and there's another top coating. And as you know, guys, if you haven't tried it, if you are looking for a good top coat, I
yeah.
highly recommend the Nailcraft one. It is super shiny. It goes on so smoothly. There
It's
is
not
no air
bubbly.
bubbles in it. It just looks
Yeah.
beautiful.
And it's not too thick, but it's just that thick enough that it looks jelly juicy.
Yes, yeah. I'm a big fan. Big fan. I use it on every set now. So I'm chuffed that I've got another one. Also, while we're on the subject of things that we've got this week and discovered, just can we give a shout out to the, how do you say it? Is it Necco Gel?
Echo gel, the juicy
Necco
fruit.
Gel Juicy Fruit collection. Guys, if you are looking for some beautiful cat eyes that have the most amazing colour shifts in them. In fact, I have them here, so if you're watching, look at them.
Sorry, Darwin's having a fit. They're so
This
pretty.
one, it's like purple, but it's got
Yeah.
like a goldy.
I'm so
Oh,
sorry for actually showing you them.
they are
I
absolutely
feel like I've cost you a
stunning.
fortune just by going,
So if
oh,
you're
have a look.
wondering and you're looking for a new cat eye collection,
That's not from Amazon.
that's the one. Go and grab yourself it. And the bottles are lovely. They're all like the colour of like what's inside the bottle. I have to say, like the Japanese, Korean bottles and the packaging, I just love. Yes, there they are. There they are. They're so cute. So yeah. How's your week been, Susie?
I have absolutely no idea. I don't know. Why do you keep asking me? I don't know what I do day to day. It's been fine. It's been fine. My
Lovely.
week's, I don't know. My week's been, I had a slightly quieter week last week, which was lovely, because I wanted to get some things done and some videos taken. And then every video that I've taken, I've hated. So I'm like, I need to redo everything. But roughly about 2 a.m, I think of that. And I'm like, I should really go and do that. No, I shouldn't. I should try and sleep. Well, I don't know. I've had clients. Oh my God, I had a new client in yesterday and I don't know why, I was super anxious. And that was the foreshadowing. I'm not going to lie, because everything went wrong. And at the moment it finished, I texted Casey just going, I've just done the worst nail set I've ever done in my entire life. And it's not the worst. It just wasn't the best. And it was more of a product issue than a me issue. But, I don't know. It just pissed me off loads. But hey ho, we move and always learning, and that's the main
Very true.
takeaway from that. I'm quite excited. I've got some American creator stuff on the way. So
Love that.
yeah, I wanted to try their hard gel because I'm trying to branch out and have a few different brands because I like using the prescriptive manicure approach, and I feel just having maybe one brand is not as prescriptive as I'd like it to be. So I am, I'm looking to see another couple of builders. But I think I want to try Magpie. Yeah, quite fancy trying Magpie ones. But American Creator, I was speaking to Shan from Plogasmic about it, and she was saying that she loves American Creator, and it's kind of in the middle for like viscosity. Oh my goodness, the dog is jumping up to see me. It's kind of in the middle for viscosity, so it's not as thick as some of the ones that I've been using. I'm sorry, I'm rubbing his ears, so now he's making a racket.
He's making like a
Snorting
snorting
away.
noise. He's enjoying that.
Do you like having
Well, I
your
can't wait to hear how it goes. I can't. You'll have to give us a little
quite excited
update next week.
And then it seems that some of my posts have blown up on Facebook. Oh my God, here we go. From the cat eye collection things that I've been doing.
Love that.
So that's been a bit mad. Well, I've got the dog trying
What are we talking about today, Susie?
Well, the dog's trying to live inside my mouth at the moment, but whatever. Hey, Casey. Do you know you're still saved in my phone as Casey? In progressively larger font. We are talking about goals, goal setting, goal reaching, because we're getting to the end of the year. Spotify Wrapped will probably be coming out soon. If it's not already out,
like 1st of December, isn't it?
The new Stranger Things will be out by the time that this comes out. Like, lots of things going on. Oh my God, why is my... I'm fighting for my life here.
Guys, if you're listening and not watching, Susie currently has Darwin on her lap and he is just loving the attention. He's so cute.
Oh, Jesus, I'm going to die. Today we're talking about goals. Setting goals when your brain has basically got 475 tabs open with a song repeat playing and you don't know what that song is and what tab it's on, things like that. Right, what even is a goal? Oh, jeez, right, I'm really trying hard here. Oh. I'm really struggling, guys.
The chaos is strong with this one, guys. The chaos is strong.
He's really handsome, though.
He's gorgeous. He's so handsome.
Right, so you've got two different kinds of goals. You've got outcome goals. So I want £75,000 a year kind of goal. Process goals. You've got like posting a daily thing on Instagram or whatever. What? No. Someone take my dog away. Process goals and outcome goals. Why chaotic? Why do chaotic brains sabotage outcome goals? So your outcome goals are like, I want to be fully booked. I want to make £150,000 in a year. I want to start my own gel polish brand. I want to run a marathon. Why? Anyway, the dog is being removed.
Okay.
So outcome goals, essentially, like chaotic brains can sometimes sabotage that because they're too big, they're too vague, they're too far away, they feel like they're a wild stab in the dark, and it feels like homework that you have to study for and you have to work on. So things like if you want to get fit, and then you just lie in bed rot for 3 days and eat curly whirlies and toast, which, to be fair, that's my life goal, to be honest.
Heaven.
So these kind of things you need to work on, or we need to work on the process goals. So that's just a start of it. I don't know why I wrote that down. None of you need to know that. Unknown goals. So we've all got unknown goals that we reach them and we're like, oh, I didn't realize that was a goal. So like, I obviously, like, I had a goal for like managing to do isolated chrome, but I didn't know that was a goal. I was just really annoyed about it. Like, I was really angry. And when I managed to do it, I was like, oh, and that's something that we should tick off our goal list because it is a goal that we've managed to like reach and do. So like the podcast existing at all. That's a goal that we were you were very much like, oh, that's a goal of mine. I really want to reach that. It wasn't a goal of mine. At all.
I just dragged you along.
I know, and I'm like, oh my God. But now I'm like, us managing to stay consistent, that's a goal that we've reached. And I really like that. So like unknown goals become visible when you like just start doing shit and follow your curiosity and pay attention to what feels exciting within you. And notice what keeps popping up for you. What do you keep seeing? What kind of things are on your algorithm that you keep seeing that is you hadn't even thought about it or considered it, and then all of a sudden it's popping up loads and loads, and you're like, maybe I should give that a go. Things like that. Look at what people are asking you for, and like what people are asking from you, and noticing what you can't get out of your brain and stop talking about. Though all I can think of in my brain is that song, the horses one. Horses in the ride, because I keep seeing this one guy doing the weird dance, and it's a line dance, and okay, it's just me. Awesome.
I have not seen that.
Okay. Amazing. So, how would you go about setting your goals?
Well, I did write a little goals list at the start of the year when I started training. I just wrote a list on my notes on my phone of like things I wanted to achieve this year. And then I also have a little list of things I want to achieve overall, like in the future.
Okay. And
some
have
of
you
them
ticked
were
any of
like a
them
bit
off?
vague and a bit I have ticked 2 of them off, yeah. This one being one, having my podcast, and the other one was being on Chan's podcast.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what would you say, like, do you have big goals or little goals?
So both. Yeah, so I try to have like a little like short-term goals of like what I want to do, say within like the next 6 months to a year. And then like the big kind of long-term career goals of like where I want to end up.
Okay.
Because I think if you only have like the big ones, it can feel like really overwhelming because like you might not get there for quite a long time. So I think it is important to have like the smaller ones in between so that you do feel like you're ticking things off of it.
Yeah.
Rather than like if you've got a goal that maybe you're not going to reach for like 2 years, you'll end up getting fed up of the fact that you're not ticking things off. So I like having a little bit of both. And then like just trying to, I guess, like break down the bigger ones into like, okay, well, how do I get there then? Like, and then have smaller goals that relate to that big goal, but they're like the stepping stones on the way to it. And then you kind of get that satisfaction of like, okay, I've ticked that bit off. And you feel like you're making progress rather than just having, like you said, like that big goal that feels kind of a lot to get to. I think it's a good idea to break that down into smaller bits. Otherwise, you'll just get fed up that like you're not achieving anything, and you'll think, "Oh, I'm not getting anywhere with it."
So you say you've had 2 goals that you've achieved.
Yeah.
See, littler
Well,
goals.
I've achieved a lot of the ones that were for 2025.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like, you must have had like ones like become trained, start taking drive.
Yeah. So my goals this year were get qualified in all the various things that I wanted to offer, get like my first paying clients, and then the others, stupidly, because now I realise that they weren't really important, but at the beginning of the year when I started, was around like numbers on social media. So I wanted to hit 1K on Instagram because that felt like a massive milestone, which I have. The other one was 5K on TikTok, which I haven't hit and I won't hit. I would have hit had I have kept doing consistent lives and stuff like that. But I just kind of sacked it off and stopped doing it. So it's my own fault because I haven't been doing anything to get myself to that goal. But I think it's because kind of like halfway through the year, I did realise that actually those aren't important and that they're not really things to focus on so much. Because like I think at the beginning of the year, I thought that like hitting 1K on Instagram would mean that I'd have loads of clients. So that was like I wanted to have that following so that I would be successful. But then I've quickly kind of learned that actually that and that have nothing to do with each other. They don't. One doesn't equal the other. I know we spoke about this last week. Like followers is not. It doesn't equal clients. It doesn't equal business success. Whereas I think obviously starting out, I was quite naive. I was just kind of plucking things out of like things I'd like to do this year. but really looking back, like I think when I'm looking at setting next year's goals, I don't think social media will come into it, because I've just realised now that it's not that important. I mean, obviously, you know, it's okay if that is your goal, because, you know, for some people they might be wanting to become content creators as opposed to work in nail techs, in which case it is a little bit more important, and, you know, it
Yeah.
is something that you're going to want to focus on. But yeah, I'd never got an Instagram account to 1,000 followers, so that to me was like, I want to hit that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, totally. No, they're cool. Like, and do you have any goals for the future that you would want to share?
My goals for the future are, well, I'd say, I mean, the ones I've got there, one is obviously like I want to move to a place where I can have like my own nail space, like a room or a cabin or something, you know, that I can decorate and just have like my dedicated space.
It's okay if you don't want to share them all.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what's on there and what I want to.
Do you know, see, when I was like, I don't really set goals. I'm really bad at it because then I just get demotivated when I can't reach them. But it's so funny looking back at the start, maybe of the year, just like after I qualified, I was like, oh my God, I'd love to work with like XYZ brand. And now towards
Yeah,
the
that's
end,
on there, but I've got a couple on there, but
yeah,
I feel like obviously coming towards the end of the year, as we've said, and this is kind of why we're doing this, I obviously am at a point where like I will rewrite this list in terms of like going into 2026 and beyond. And I feel like some of the big ones might have changed a little bit,
yeah, I was
because
just gonna,
I know a lot more now about, like, obviously when I wrote these I wasn't trained, I wasn't like taking clients, I wasn't doing any of that stuff. So I think as you learn and as you kind of develop in the industry, you kind of, things that you didn't think were a possibility, kind of, I don't like, things like social media open your eyes up to what other people are doing and kind of what different avenues there are to go down like long term. So you know, I think it's okay if some of them change. I guess my biggest one, and the one that won't change, is wanting like, I don't know what I want to call it, but I like some sort of like subscription membership nail art kind of thing, you know, like I'd love to do like weekly paint alongs, because like, I
yes,
really liked doing TikTok lives and stuff, but I think really, like, obviously when I quit my job this year, that's when kind of things shifted for me a bit, because I had to focus on the things that were going to make me money,
yeah,
and like going live on TikTok. Although maybe like the more you do it and the bigger you get, you can make money from it, but it wasn't something like my focus very much shifted to how do I get clients, how do I start making money, because I don't
yeah,
have a job now. Well, I do, but I'm self-employed instead of employed.
yeah.
But yeah, I do love like doing like the live painting and the kind of things like that, and I guess it's like I want to have like my own little like community is what I would
Do you know
prefer to
what? That
call
would
it, I
be
think.
so cool for
And
you.
like at the time, I know that you know this, but people listening won't know. Like at the time, it was all set up. Like I had all the tiers ready to go. I had everything that was included in it. It was all, and then I just didn't do it. But it is definitely like still what I want to do. Like I want to do like nail art workshops. I want to, you know, do live paint alongs, and I want to do helpful digital products on Canva that help nail techs with certain things, or, you know, all of those different things. I'd love to have like a little newsletter of nail roundup of, you know, what's going on in the nail industry and nail art looks to try, and yeah, just a whole sort of community vibe of really cool alternative weird people who maybe don't feel like they fit in elsewhere but will fit in fine with me.
Do it.
I know,
Do it, do
I
it, do it, do
know.
it.
I know, and you've been telling me that from the off.
Because, like you say, the only way you can fail is if you don't try.
I know, but I just feel, I guess it is that thing again of just feeling like it's too soon. Like I'm too new, you know, I don't really have the authority to be like,
But then a lot of
yeah,
people that
I don't
start
know.
things clearly
If
don't have
anyone's
the
listening and you
authority.
like the sound of it, let me know in the comments.
I could tell that Casey was really nervous to say that, actually. I can,
Yeah.
I
Yes,
can,
I mean, like, it's a scary thing to, like, put out there.
it is. It's really scary.
But we're being open and yeah. But I definitely think like obviously like probably in the next few weeks will be when I kind of sit down and think about like next year and kind of break it down into the smaller stuff that I want to achieve next year. But yeah, kind of beyond that, I'm not too sure.
Well, I mean, that's a huge goal to have. I
Yeah.
have tiny goals, like get to the end of the day. Like
I mean
try
that's
not
a that's a goal every day.
try not to drop anything. Failed. Like
You
try
don't. You don't. You have some big goals. You're just not at the point where you want to share them, which is fine because it's like,
I
yes,
do, yeah, I've got, so this year's goals were just to get qualified so I could get
yeah.
professional
Mhm.
accounts in places. And then all of a sudden, like the unknown goals that I was just talking about, I've reached loads of unknown goals because I didn't, at the start of the year, I hadn't even envisaged having more than like just a couple of friends as clients or family,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
like who's got a couple of friends? Not me. But like, you know, like that, I didn't think that that would happen, and then I've become really booked really quickly, which
Mhm.
feels a bit gross to admit to and feels a bit icky, and I feel very like I don't know, I've had a couple of people recently that have been like, "Oh, you're so lucky that that's happened." And I'm like, "I've worked really hard."
You've worked so hard,
Like,
so
but
hard.
then that doesn't take away from people who've also worked hard but live in an area that has like just loads of techs and stuff about, like yourself. So
Mhm.
it's not about like, I don't know. I just was like, okay, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I was like, it's not so much luck. It's that I've put myself out there and felt uncomfortable as shit all the time. And like I've felt like my skin was being ripped off of me all the time because I felt so vulnerable and so open.
Mhm.
And that's so not me at all. I'm
Mhm.
really sorry. I'm sitting in a blanket. I look like a granny. Victoria.
Let's have a little nap.
Oh, don't tempt me. But it's been like, I don't know, it's just that feeling of going, can we not just recognize when people have worked really hard instead of just going, oh, I'm just really lucky, or you've just been really lucky, things like that.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yeah, like that's a goal that I hadn't even considered at the start of the year. Going to events and meeting new
Yes.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like at the start of the year, I was like, not meeting new people, not going to events. Don't be ridiculous. I'm just a little goblin in my little hovel and I don't move. Things like that. Whereas now I'm like putting my face on TikTok to like just chat to people and be very
Mhm.
honest and vulnerable. I'm like that. These are things that were never goals to me, but looking back, I'm like, oh, I've done that. I've actually
Mhm.
achieved that, and I've done. And I know that sounds so silly, but to someone like me who feels
No.
deeply uncomfortable in their own skin, like that felt so alien to me. So like doing like you doing lives, I'm like, what? What? It's not. I'd love to do them, but I'm too. I don't have anything to say, and then I say the wrong thing, and I probably swear too much, and like, nah. And then, so things like that have been goals that have been unknowns that I've hit, and then upping my prices and nobody really arguing about it. I expected people to be like, "Well, I'm never coming back." That kind of,
That's a massive one for you.
yeah,
Like the fact that you are charging
and
full price and
charging
you are
prices.
actually charging decent prices for what you're putting out. And that is huge because we literally met off of the back of you feeling like you couldn't charge at all.
Yeah. And even up
and
till
you
recently, I
know
was still like,
to
oh no.
that's it, you were still giving out quite big discounts and just underselling yourself a lot. So that's huge, and I think that's really important. It's like just because you didn't write a goals list, you still need to recognize the goals that you do hit. Like, it's
Yeah.
important to give yourself recognition for the things along the way, because not everyone might like have that thought process of exactly what they want to do, or they might just be more taking each day as it comes and seeing where the journey takes them. But I think you still need to give yourself recognition of the things that you achieve along the way, and
Yeah.
kind of be
And
like,
even the
oh,
little ones, the
I
little
got to
goals.
that. Like, yeah, like
Little
you
goals.
say, like even things like your, like, I know recently for you, like your Builder Joe application has been something that's just
Yeah.
been amazing. And it's,
Oh,
or
I
being
didn't think
able
that's what we
to,
were going with.
why,
I thought you were just going to say, like, I thought you were going to say that's been something that you've been working on. I didn't expect you to go, that's been amazing. I was like, "Ah,
well, it
oh,
has been
that,
amazing. You like, it's come such a long way. That's a
yeah.
massive goal to get to that point. Or like,
And you speeding up,
yeah,
like
yeah,
taking on like multiple
sort of,
clients a day and having blocks and
yeah.
being able to fit everyone into the blocks. Like,
Even
that's a
like
huge.
the first time you're able to, do a straight line down a nail, or,
Hmm.
paint a little flower, or, all of these little things, all of these little skills that you learn. Like you said, the first time that you realize you can do isolated chrome without getting it everywhere, being able to do a French, which I still
No, mm-mm.
still don't believe I'm fully there, but I don't think I want to get there, so it's
I'll never
fine.
get there.
All of these things, even if you haven't specifically stated them as goals, they are still achievements, and you need to give yourself credit for them, because that's what helps keep you going as well.
Like
So,
when people
yeah.
come back with really good retention and you're like, oh my God, your nails are all still on and
Yeah,
they're perfect.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
it. Not
right.
getting
And
lifting, all of
yeah,
these things, you have to give yourself credit for them and celebrate
totally.
them,
Mm-hmm.
because that's like, and even write them down, make a goals list, but fill it in as you go, and just be like, oh yeah, I've achieved that, tick that off, I've achieved that. Because like you say,
100%.
you might not always be aware of them, but if there's something you're struggling with and then you suddenly learn how to do it, or you achieve it, that is something to celebrate. That is
Yep.
something to give yourself credit for. And the more that you do it, the more it'll kind of encourage you to keep going, because you're like, oh, okay, I am doing quite well here. Like, I've learned this and this. And,
Hmm.
back in January, I couldn't do any of these things,
Yeah, I mean,
so,
you saw my nails
painting
from
a
a year
landscape
ago.
on my nails and winning a competition prize is
Exactly.
not something that was, like you say, it's not something that was on my goals list, because it's not something that I believed at the time I was capable of achieving,
Hmm.
but I have achieved it.
Exactly. And you've
So,
done amazingly. Like, look at where you've come from the very start to now, like Christmas last year to now. Like,
mhm.
what a difference. And it's the
Oh
thing
yeah, I
is,
can't wait to do, like, I feel like in December at some point I will do a post of like the progress, because I did find the other day, I remember saying to you, I found like a picture of my first ever live on TikTok, it was, and it was like a Valentine's Eve set, because it was obviously like February time, and oh my god, it was awful. And I think for Valentine's next year I will like recreate it and do.
yes.
And I also found like I've got it here actually. I've had to upgrade because there's a lot in there. My little box full of like old practice things.
Amazing.
And when I found it and like went through it, I was like, oh my god. But there's some in there that at the time I thought were amazing, but they are not.
Hmm.
But even looking back on things like that, and you're like, oh wow, okay, we have come a long way.
Yeah. But like we always say that the only person to compare yourself to is past you.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
the only thing. So no, big goals for me, because I know you were very open and very honest, and I'm a bit more like, oh, I can't speak them out loud because as soon as I
You
speak
don't
them,
have, you don't, there's no pressure to, you don't
no,
have
I
to,
know.
like,
But we've always said that we'll be open and honest and stuff. I I have a few big goals. Some of them I'm keeping close to my chest because they are
hmm
in progress. But I'm aiming to like, I want to become like the cat eye person in Scotland. That's
Mhm.
I want to be that person.
I
I
feel like you
want
are
to
that person. You
use
just don't know it yet.
no, but I want to be like the cat eye person in Scotland.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but it's like I want to really build like a luxury sort of niche client base that are always booking consistently, that are totally into the same kind of vibe as me with that kind of product. And I am progressively, and I know I'm talking about getting some American creative stuff and some bits and bobs, but I would love to go and be trained in like Japanese manicures,
Mhm.
Korean manicures, that kind of a vibe, and offer that as a standard. I am moving towards more Japanese syrups, Korean like nail products and stuff. They don't have the same kind of builder gel structure
Mhm.
stuff as we do. They have got structure things, but it's not the same. It's more of like they use overlays, which again, fine, because essentially what we do with a builder gel is an overlay. It's just that they don't really use that whole like getting a bead and pushing it down. It's more just
Mhm.
you layer it and then you add a little bit more, and yeah. So I would like to do training in that, and the whole like manicure of just the natural nails as well, and offer that. But yeah, and then maybe do some workshops. I have a workshop coming up with someone in the next couple of weeks for cat eye stuff. They want
Mhm.
to know how to maybe photograph it really well, and how to use cat eyes to the best sort of ability with lots of different kind of things, which is cool.
Mhm.
I don't know why she's asked me to come and help her, but I'll go along,
'Cause
and
you're amazing.
because I'll come along and I'll just
I want a cat eye 1-to-1 with Susie. Like I'm next in line. Guys, if anyone's watching that wants a 1-to-1 cat eye session with Susie, let us know.
very few people would want that, because people know what to do.
No.
They just move a magnet about. And in the long term, I would like to buy a home with enough space that I can have a very individual studio that isn't just at the back of my house, like just a separate
Mhm.
room, like with a door, essentially, with a door, and somewhere that will feel more private for me, and that I can actually shut the door on and walk away from at the
Mhm.
end of the
Mhm.
day. Because at the moment I see it and I'm like, well, just go and have a little sit down and just play with this, and I'll just go and do that, and I don't have any time away from the nails,
Mhm.
essentially. But yeah, so these are my little kind of goals. I want to get better at everything. I want to get faster, but I feel like
Yeah, same. That I think for like 2026 goals, my main ones are get clients. That's my main focus is get more clients, um, and get a little bit faster. I don't want to get super fast. I don't want to be able to, whack it in and out as quick as,
oh, I do.
but
I want to be able to keep
I
the
don't
quality.
want to take as long.
See, I want to keep the quality and keep the art, but just do it faster. But then
Bash it out.
I know that comes with time, and at the moment I sat last night, or yes, my last appointment yesterday, and I was doing it. I was like, oh my God, she's been sitting here for about 3.5 hours. It hadn't. It'd been like an hour and 3/4. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I knew I only had maybe like 20 minutes left to go by the time we'd like finished off some 3D bits. And I was like, oh, okay, right, fine. So,
Mhm.
and that was like solid level 3 art, as well as like hard gel and taking it off, putting it back, rebalance and everything. So, yeah, but it's still all of a sudden it feels like you've been there for a full 15-hour day, and they're bored and everything. And actually, people are just quite happy. My clients are all like, "Oh no, I'm quite happy here. I quite like it.
Mhm.
There's always
Mhm.
something to look at. There's always chat. There's always like,
A cat.
there's always a cat. You know,
An
always
animal to
something." So
stroke. Or...
yeah, but I would really like to niche down, I have to say.
Mhm.
Like, I would like to niche down and make my content more consistent.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, same.
Like, and
Same.
cohesive.
And I feel like, I know, like we said earlier about you saying, like, people have said, like, you're lucky about being fully booked so quickly and things like that. You do practice more than anyone I know. Like, you do. I don't know anyone that practices as much as you. Like, every time you voice note me, I can hear the lamp going in the background. There's always something that you're practicing, and if you can't do it,
I get
you
so
don't,
angry.
like, it's like an itch in your brain, and you have to practice it, and you'll buy different things and wanna, you will just keep at it until you can do it. Yeah, I feel like that's something I want to focus on as well, is like just niching down a little bit, because I do feel like at the moment I am like, I just want clients, so I'm just like trying to get all the clients.
Yeah.
But I feel like what I've learned from many people is that sometimes when you're trying to reach everyone, you don't reach anyone.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of trying to get really clear on what my favorite things are to do and trying to get more of those people.
Yeah. Because, I
And
mean,
French
you're
is not
amazing
it.
at art. Right. Goal setting for chaotic brains. Let's help our fellow chaotic girlies here. Breaking it down into little goblin-sized steps is easier than looking at one massive delusional goal that you're like,
Yes.
I can never achieve that.
Same. I feel like those, like, just stating like a big goal, it feels overwhelming very quickly, because then you're like, yeah, but how? Like, how do I get there? But then, like you say, like, it's because you have to break it down into like little stepping stones.
Yeah. But you can have like low effort goals towards that. So like, I find low effort goals work really well for me, especially if I'm feeling super depressed or super anxious or super down in the dumps or hating everything that I'm doing and don't want to be a nail tech anymore. But then I also have high effort goals when I'm feeling productive and usually slightly manic. Let's be honest. Just ever so slightly.
I think the thing that's important to remember is that no goal is too small.
Yes.
Like, your goals don't have to be big. Sometimes you say, especially if you're not feeling your best, if you're like, I've literally, from a mental health perspective, when I've been in therapy throughout different points of my life, sometimes my goal for the day has literally just been to get out of bed. And if I manage that, I tick it off, because at that moment in time in my life, that is a big thing for me. Or, if and then you kind of build it up to, okay, well, tomorrow I want to get out of bed and I want to brush my hair. And you very slowly build it up. So like you said, it is dependent on your circumstances at the time. Sometimes you will have times where you feel capable and you want to reach for the stars and you want to be able to get there, but don't, like,
climb every mountain higher.
But if you're not at that point and you are at a point where you're feeling like nothing is really possible, or I know when I had that little slump sort of earlier in the year where I didn't want to do anything, I'd stopped painting, I'd stopped kind of doing everything. My goal literally was just to paint one nail, just one swatch stick, even if it was just a plain colour, just one thing. Like, if you are someone like us who does have a bit more of a chaotic brain or does suffer with mental health, and you're not always in that place of being able to do everything, set tiny goals. Goals do not have to be massive. Yes, it's good to have in the back of your mind what you ultimately want to achieve, but if just putting out one Instagram post this week is a goal, go for it.
Also, your goals can change. You evolve.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you evolve over time. Why can't your goals evolve over time? I know when I first started, I was like, oh my God, I want to get trained in XYZ. I want to get loads of clients. Like after this was maybe June or something, after I'd started getting clients in, and I was like, oh my God, this could be a thing. And then I was like, I want to work with this brand and this brand and this brand, and I want recognition from them and I want them to notice me. And now towards the end of the year, I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want like XYZ brands to even like, I don't want them to reach out because it's not on my list of things to do anymore, because that's not it's not for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to work on me and myself and not my brand, because I don't have a brand, but you know what I mean? I want to work on all of that. I'm incredibly lucky to now be working with West Nail, which West Nails UK. I know, right? Use code Susie10 for 10% off. I feel
Shayna's little plug there.
I know, I feel icky as fuck saying that. Like, I don't know why. It just makes me feel weird. But like, I'm incredibly fortunate that they've reached out, and I chat to them a lot, and I'm always repping them. I'm always between the West Nails UK and Cookie. I'm forever repping them and like saying
Mm-hmm.
about them, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's okay to be like on the path to like working towards a certain goal and then kind of get there and think, no, this isn't what I want. I think that shows growth. That's
Yeah.
like when I started out in care, when I was like 18 or whatever. God, that was a long time ago. My ultimate goal was I wanted to be a manager. I wanted to manage services. I wanted to have a lot of like say in being able to help people and being able to make change happen and stuff like that. And I worked my butt off to get there. I did. And I did it. I got there and I hated it. It took away everything I enjoyed about the role. It took away everything I enjoyed about that sector. I wasn't hands-on anymore. It was management. It was an office job, and I stuck at it to the point of making myself miserable. And I wish I hadn't. And I remember, like, obviously having the conversation with Nigel, and it got to the point where, like, I dreaded going to work. But obviously at the time it was like, well, I want to earn more money. I want to, because we all need to make money. And then it's kind of like a massive decision to kind of go, actually, I want to step back. I want to go backwards. But now, like, after I did it, I was so proud of myself for doing that. Like, even doing a U-turn on your goals, that is something to celebrate.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
just because you wanted something at one point in your life, sometimes you get there and you realise it's not what you thought it was.
Yeah, it's always okay to change.
And it's okay. And if anything, it's massively admirable to go, do you know what, actually? This isn't for me. I'm not loving this. This isn't fulfilling my life in the way that I thought it was going to. And actually, I'm going to reevaluate my goals and where I want to go. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have one plan for your life and stick at it and never change. If anything, it helps you grow as a person, and discovering along the way what you don't want to do sometimes is also really, really important.
That's such a powerful thing. Like,
yeah, 100%, because sometimes you have to get there to realize you don't want it. Sometimes you have to do something to think, oh yeah, no, that's actually not for me.
But that's so true. And you try things and you're like, oh my God, but in your head you have a vision of what that's going to represent to you and what that's going to be. And when you get there and it doesn't live up to that vision, or if it's completely different to that vision, it feels disappointing. And a lot of people feel really dejected and really disappointed in themselves at that point, and ashamed.
Yeah.
Because we all carry shame around things and stuff like that. But that is it's a positive in your life. And I know it maybe doesn't feel at the time, but it's a huge positive, because you can learn that isn't what you want. So I can block that off.
For me, like, when that happened with like in the sort of care role, I felt like a failure. Like, even though like I'd hit my goal, so that was a success, but the kind of admitting that actually it's not what I thought it was going to be and I'm not happy, that felt like a failure. And I didn't want to have to say, oh, I'm going to step back down to a lower role because I enjoy it more. It felt like a failure, and I was more worried about how that looked to everybody else. And they'd think, well, you've stepped down because you wasn't good at it, or you couldn't hack the pressure, or whereas for me it was just like, no, I want, like, what I loved about care was the hands-on support, was actually making a difference on it. I didn't want to sit behind a desk. I didn't want to do paperwork all the time. But it massively felt like, oh my God, everyone's going to judge me. Everyone's going to think I'm a failure. Everyone's going to think I couldn't do it. But if anyone that's listening ever feels like that, don't base your goals and what you want to do on everybody else, because that's exactly the same reason why I put off, because like I'd looked at Glitterbell's training so many times in the past. I had because sometimes I would go and get my nails done and think I'd love to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But in my head, I was like, I'm too far into care now. I've given too much of my life down this path to just go, I don't want to do this. I'm going to be a nail tech. I'm going to completely pivot everything and I'm going to do something. And it did. It felt like I'd failed. It felt like because when you've put so much effort into something and you've done training and you've, spent years building up the ranks and doing all the things you need to do, it feels like a failure to say, actually, this isn't working for me.
Yeah,
but now I can
different.
look back on it and go, do you know what, that was one of the bravest decisions I've ever made, because that's also not easy. It's not easy to go, I'm gonna flip my life upside down and I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna go in this direction instead.
Yep.
Is
100%.
terrifying. And even if, like you say, that is a goal in itself, like that is a massive achievement, and now I can look back on that and go, no, I'm really glad I made that decision.
You should be
so
proud of
happy.
yourself.
But yeah, don't ever be afraid to hit a goal and then go, no, actually, that's not for me anymore. Same with, like you said, wanting to get recognition from a brand. I think when you start out, that feels like such a massive thing, because it feels like that will be the epitome of success, is like this brand that I love recognizing me. And yes, of course, it would still be lovely. Of course it would, when you work, like you use brands, it would be, but I think you have to put less pressure on that and realize that, yes, if it happens, that's amazing. And it's lovely when a brand reshares your work. I love it when I put a story up and it gets reshared and I think, that's great. But I think you also have to shift your focus a little bit in realizing that unless you want to go down a content route and a UGC route, and of course in that, if you're going down that route, you do need brand recognition. But if you are trying to build your own business and your own, like you want to go self-employed and that's your goal, then it needs to sort of take a back seat a little bit and be like, it's an added bonus if it happens.
Yeah, because
but
it doesn't
it's
matter.
not your main focus. It's not, again, a brand sharing your work is not going to get you clients. Your clients aren't going to see that they've shared that and go, oh yeah, they must be amazing. Because your clients won't be following the brands that you use. They won't care. Most clients don't know what you're using on them. Like the amount of times I've got a new client and I'm like, oh, do you they want a removal, and I'm like, what is it we're removing? They don't know. They don't always. Sometimes they do, but obviously sometimes they don't know. They just went to get their nails done. So you have to kind of reevaluate, actually my business is where my focus is, and that's what this is what's going to get me there. So don't be afraid to just change your mind and go, nope, I'm crossing that off my goals list because that no longer aligns with what I want and where I'm heading, and I'm going to add this in.
Totally.
And that's a massively powerful thing to do for yourself.
Yeah, huge. So looking at like the takeaways from this, I would say like you don't need clarity necessarily, and for making your goals, you just need a vibe and a momentum in a way. So you don't have to write specific things down.
You can start out with a very rough idea of like, if you're just starting, which a lot of people that we're talking to at the moment, they are beginners. They're just don't feel like you have to have it all mapped out straight away. And even if you do have it all mapped out, don't be scared of changing that path as you learn, as you develop. Don't be scared of just pivoting in a different direction.
And some of your unknown goals will just reveal themselves to you.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I didn't realise I was going to meet like a new bestie.
I know, right?
And now like she's stuck with me, and I feel really sorry for her, to be fair, because I'm just whittling shite at her all day. But yeah, you can change your goals whenever you want, but don't be afraid of the unknown ones that crop up. And don't be afraid to say yes to things to create those goals.
Yes, yes.
Say
Do you
yes
know
to stuff.
that was a massive takeaway for me when we listened to Robbie talking
Yeah.
at the nail order event,
Say
when he
yes.
was
And
saying like early on in his career, like he just said yes to things. You know, if an opportunity presents itself to you, don't, like, obviously if it's something you really know you don't want to do, then of course stand by that, and you know, you can say no. But also, you know, if things come up that you weren't expecting and you're a bit curious about it, or you're not sure, say yes to it, because you can always change your mind.
yeah.
If you say no to something, you're always going to wonder what if.
Yep.
If you say yes to it, you can always say no further down the line. But it's worth taking a shot, experimenting a bit, and seeing where it takes you.
And do it scared. And do it even if you don't know
Yes.
what you're doing, say yes and then learn it very, very quickly, because delusional confidence works usually. It
Yes.
works out. Even if it's not perfect in the first instance, you'll be like, yeah, okay, we'll try that again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it can lead you to the best things in the world, because that's how you get your unknown goals to come out, I suppose. And that's how you reach your goals, but it's going to be scary sometimes. And we're here to
Oh,
hold your
yeah.
hand, 100% here to hold your hand, because I'm scared of things all the time. Yeah, another one I've got written down is big dreams do need uncomfortable growth. You're going to
Oh,
feel
100%.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have, if you want success, you're gonna have to get used. You're gonna have to get comfortable with being
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
you're going to feel icky. You're going to
You're
feel,
gonna have to
"Ugh."
push yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to push yourself out of your comfort
Mm-hmm.
zone and do things that you don't really want to do,
Yeah. And you're
but you
allowed,
just have to force yourself to do it.
but you're, see when some, like, I'm really guilty of this, going, oh no, I've got enough. I don't actually need more in life. Like, everyone's fed, everyone's watered, everyone has like a roof over their head, like everyone's healthy, like all of that. You're allowed to want more for yourself. There's no
Mhm.
shame in saying, no, I want to earn 150 grand a year. I want to earn
Mhm.
760,000 pounds a day. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, it's not going to happen, but you're allowed
it
to
might
want,
do.
yeah, it might. You're allowed to want that
Yeah.
for yourself. Like, you are allowed
100%.
to do that.
You can simultaneously be happy with what you've got and want more.
Yeah.
Like, you can still appreciate what you have, but want more. There's no harm in wanting more.
Like, more for yourself,
And
more for your
unless you're Elon
family.
Musk and you really don't need more.
You don't need
Um,
more, but it's okay to want more, like, want more for yourself. Like, I want more for my family. I want to own a
mhm,
house again, because renting feels uncomfortable to me. Things like that. So yeah, I want to be able to have more space.
mhm.
Things like, just little things. I want to be able to not worry about having 2 birthdays and Christmas all in the space of
I know,
December.
yeah, you did not plan your children well.
I didn't plan any of them. There we
I
go.
think I mean, it's another one that's a bit, you know, I feel like a lot when you're talking about goals, things sort of contradict themselves a bit, because
Yeah.
like, don't be scared to dream big, but also like I said earlier, remember that no goal is too small
Yeah.
either. Like, try and have a balance of both.
But
Like,
it's
have
okay to have
just
both.
one or two goals that are up here for the future. One of mine was the Clawgasmic episode.
And you've
I
done
don't know
it.
how that happened. But then, you know, make sure that you have some really small goals as well, that you know you're going to be able to tick off quite quickly. And because, like I said, like with the mental health stuff, when you're in that funk, sometimes you need to be able to tick things off,
Mm-hmm.
because the more things you can tick off, the more your confidence starts to grow again, and you're like, oh, okay, I got out of bed, I brushed my teeth, I brushed my hair.
Yeah,
And it's tiny little things that over time you can then build it up, and then before you know it, you know, you're smashing life again. But
exactly.
sometimes you have to start really, really, really tiny.
And I just want to say, before we finish up, everyone's goals are different. So
Hmm.
you, like, you might have a goal of, I want to make £20 in a day and not feel guilty about charging that. Because I have been there when I've been like,
Hmm.
I can't charge anyone any money. I want to make £20 and just ask someone to be able to feel comfortable enough to ask someone to pay for something. So we're not saying, oh, you have to aim for like fully booked or whatever, like literally the tiniest goals. And I know I sound very
Yeah.
confident, but when it comes to things like that, I'm not, and I'm
No,
very much.
honestly, you like that first video that I ever saw of you was literally you saying you just wanted to get to a point where you could even charge your beginner prices,
Yeah,
which were minuscule. So the fact that now, I can't remember what month exactly that was, but
I
not
think
not even a year later,
March, April.
you have upped your prices and you're charging them is massive. Like that is a massive achievement for you
Yeah,
because charging has always been the bit that you struggle
I
with.
really struggle with. But that's an example of you have to start with the tiny baby step.
Yes.
And that's okay to just work towards that tiny baby step, because the bigger steps will come eventually, but
Hmm.
sometimes you just have to build that foundation. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't want to harp on because I feel like I'm being annoying, but yeah, it is just a case of everyone's little steps are totally different, and that's
Yes.
okay. Like your level of stress, anxiety, busyness in life, you might have 15 kids and your husband's just run off with Janice. You might have
Mhm.
like you might have no kids, but you've got 3 dogs and 5 cats, and you're really struggling to make it out of bed every day. Things like
Yeah.
that. Like
Mm.
everyone's mental health is different, everyone's situation is different. So always compare yourself to your own struggles instead, or your
Mhm.
own life or your own goals
Absolutely.
instead
Yeah.
of
Like
anyone else's.
someone's goal might be they do want to make 100K a year and they're gonna, work 6 days a week and they're gonna absolutely put all the work in. But like you said, they might not have children. They might not, they might not have a full-time job that they've got to navigate at the same time as building their own business. And then you might have someone else that has, 3 children and wants to only work school hours. They just want to
Yeah, because
build a
it's
tiny little business because what their ultimate goal is to spend time with their children and make sure that they're home to cook dinner and make sure that they're home, they are taking the kids out. And that might be your ultimate goal. So your business goal might be that actually I only want to build up. I want to see 3 clients a day, 4 days a week during school hours so that I can then spend time with my family. That's fine. That's a great goal. You
that's
don't
great.
need to hustle your life away if
And
that is not what you want.
yeah,
Your goal might be, and I know a lot of people go into, being self-employed and like beauty so that they can make their life outside of work better. Like
yeah,
work doesn't have to be your ultimate goal.
and
Your ultimate goal could be making your job work for your wider
yep,
life.
and don't be
And that's
guilted.
fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. Like
don't be
there's nothing
guilted by
wrong
anyone
with that.
else. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't be made to feel guilty by anybody else, because
No.
that is your life. That's what you want,
Your
and that's your
goals
goal.
should be based on what's going to make you happy, not what you
Exactly.
think other people's version of success looks like, or not, what other people tell you should be earning a year, or, how much you should be bringing in, or, oh, somebody else is seeing 9 clients a day. That's my worst nightmare. I don't want to see more than 4 people in a day. I've always said that. That for my mental health is that I'm socialed out. Like I
Yeah,
can't.
I
I
can do
know
5.
myself. I couldn't cope with that.
I can do 5, but I shut down
So,
very
like you
quickly.
say, it's situational and it's what makes you happy. Don't
Yeah.
when you're thinking about your goals, when you're planning your goals, do not think about anyone other than you and
Hmm.
your immediate family and the people that matter to you that you want to make sure are happy and
Hmm.
fulfilled in life. That's it. There
Yes.
you go. That's my final
Amen.
thoughts on it. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I'm tired of people being made to feel bad or ashamed that they maybe aren't working 7 days a week and late nights every night and all of that jazz, when actually their goals are just to exist and not be
Mhm,
in poverty, and they are just wanting to get some extra money for birthdays, holidays, Christmases,
mhm.
and they are not,
Or to
they're
just
not
have a job that
hustling.
doesn't put them in burnout and, you know,
Yeah.
make their mental health hit the floor because there's too much pressure and expectation.
Yeah, I
On
completely
that
agree.
note, do you have any rants for the week? I would say my rant this week is, there's been a few. What ones irked me the most? I would just say social media at the moment, and like, just there seems to be a rise in negativity
Okay.
in across the board. I like just people like calling out other, like, I understand that we want standards to be better. I get that. But
Mhm.
I think there's a way to say it, and there's a way to approach somebody if maybe you think they're doing something that's, you know, not the best practice. I don't think publicly calling them out and shaming them is the way to do it. And I
Yeah.
just don't like, I know I've said it before, I hate seeing all this like back and forwards with people, and it just feels like no one can really agree on anything, or no one, like, everybody's got to a place of like, this is the way I do it, and this is the way you should do it, and this is the only way to do it. Anybody that does it differently, or anybody that uses a different product or a different technique or a different way of getting there, is wrong, and we should cancel them. And I just hate it. I understand that there's certain things that, yes, there's one right way, and what, like, but not for everything. For
Yeah.
many things, there are different things that work for different people. And like, would never be like, oh, if you don't use the same brand as me, or you don't use the same brushes as me, or you don't, you know, use the same forms as me to get the result, then you're an idiot and I'm right and you're wrong. And there just feels like there's a lot of that at the
Yeah.
moment, with like so many different people with like big platforms, and they just seem to be attacking things that I just don't see as being the important stuff. Like, I'm not seeing people attacking the brands that are, you know, selling to 12-year-olds on Amazon and TikTok Shop, and, you know, that are pushing out lamps that don't even meet the basic criteria. Like, why are no one with these massive platforms, they're not calling out these things? Instead, they want to come for nail art techniques, or, you know, like, that's not the biggest, that's not what we need to be worrying about.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I just don't like all this tit for tat, and like trying to make people feel bad for the way that they're doing things, or making people feel like their work is shit. And I just don't like this whole, you must do things the way that I do things,
yeah.
or I'm gonna pull you through the mud.
Agreed.
I just think we should be supporting each other more and helping each other, and, you know, trying to build each other up to, and I feel like that's a much better way to get the standard where it needs to be.
Yeah. 100%.
So, Susie, that's my rant. End of my rant. What's your rant?
So my rant is, you know how there's a lot of people, like, including me, I'm all about like nail health. You're all about nail health. We want to retain the nail health of our clients. That's what we want to do.
Yes.
But when I see people who have gone on and on about nail health for so long, and I've totally respected them and been so like invested in like learning from them and educating myself with their stuff, and then I see them using cheap Amazon sets of like polishes on clients, that just kind of makes me go, why did I listen? And that's actually, I know it's just like a parasocial relationship thing, but I feel like genuinely hurt by that. Like, I'm kind of like, what? Why would you do
Yeah,
such a thing?
I don't like it when people go back on that, like, because sometimes you like follow people, and you get invested in people because of a certain reason,
Yeah,
and like
people,
because their
brands.
values align
Yeah,
with your values, and they're trying to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
yeah.
And then when you see people go back on that, you're like, uh
Yeah, and it goes, but
what?
my rant is it goes for brands and people. Like recently, I've seen brands go back on like what they've said is like values that they stand by and stuff. And I've seen people go back on values that they kind of stand by. And as somebody who is on the spectrum, who has quite a strong sense of like right and wrong, and I'm quite firm on that, I
Hmm.
just feel a bit like with brands that I've maybe used and stuff, I feel a bit like that I've been duped in a way. And with people that
Hmm.
I've like invested into like memberships or workshops or like things like that, or like one-to-ones or things like that. And then I see them go back on that by using things that they don't know the SDS, they don't know the ingredients, they don't know what's in things. That kind of that just is jarring to me, and I find that incredibly disingenuous to then be just saying, oh, but it's okay because I'm doing it. And I'm like, but it's not okay when you said in previous stuff that other people do it and it's not okay. So why is it okay for you now? And that doesn't sit well with me. And and brands who've previously been like, oh yeah, we're all about this, but then it turns out they're not all about that. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, sometimes I just feel a bit like this is all just about profit to everyone. It's all about money. It's not about the love of it. It's about profit and getting enough bums on seats, or getting enough people through the door to buy things, or getting enough people online on a live or whatever. Like I don't know, that just,
it's disappointing.
It is like, I'm not angry, I'm just
It
disappointed.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my rant. And I feel a bit, oh, Lily.
Say hi, everybody, on the Chaotic Beautiful Club.
Lily.
Is she a baby girl?
I was a good girl. I was a kissy. Who's a good girl?
Yeah, I do. I love you. Let us know what your goals are. If you're still here, just write one of your goals in the comments. Doesn't have to be a big one. Doesn't have to be, just share with us. What are you hoping to achieve in 2026?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
We will be here to cheer you on and make it happen.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't wait to revisit this at the end of next year. And then,
and
then we can have like a little phone in or like a comment thing, and people can be like, well, I wrote last year that this would be my goal. And we can like have a little cheer button and be like,
oh,
yay!
That would be amazing.
Oh,
yes,
I'd love that.
Love that idea. Love that.
Oh my
Until
God.
next week, guys.
No, wait. Do you know what I would love? Is a Chaotic Cuticle Club little meet up in person.
Yes.
Like that can be a goal for next year.
Yes. And I have realised we haven't done our shout out.
Okay.
What are we talking about this week? Because it was just a good one.
It is a good one.
Nail Jam. Yes. This is a new brand, guys, that we found. They are launching on the 6th of December, I believe.
I think so, yeah. Nail Jam.
Oh my God, guys. We'll put all of their info in the description, but the pots it's like a hard builder gel, so it's like a hybrid builder gel that they're going to be launching, and it comes in the cutest little pink pot.
Yeah, they are.
I'm obsessed.
Such a vibe.
The shades look amazing. There's like some glittery shades that look insane, and then there's like a core range that's coming that's all like just beautiful, like neutrals and milkiness.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to try it.
It's nice. The 6th of December, a hybrid between hard and soft gel, HEMA, DiHEMA, TPO, IBOA, IBOMA free, designed in the UK, made in the EU. Yeah.
Yes.
Vegan and cruelty free.
But just the whole brand vibe, aesthetic. They are, from what we've seen, they are formulating it from scratch, because they were meant to launch in October, and for whatever reason, there's been some delays in the testing and the lab kind of making of things, and it's been pushed back slightly, but it looks incredible.
Yeah.
It's by a lady called Petra, who is also like, she's on Instagram. Her work looks beautiful. So yeah, if you are in the market to look for a hard builder gel, and you like cute aesthetics, then head on over. And
not sponsored, by the way. We're not. She doesn't know we're doing that.
No. Just something we've come across online, and we're really excited to try it. We thought you might be excited to try it as well.
Some
it
glittery
looks like it's going to be really good. The
glittery ones are pretty.
The glittery ones look stunning.
Yep.
I will definitely be trying them, we think you should too.
Yes, 100%.
Head on over to the socials, and yeah, let's help, because I do love supporting a smaller brand as well, and new brands that are coming out that you know, let's give them a shot.
Yeah, let's give them a chance.
Because obviously, like, same with Nailcraft, like that's been a new brand that, you know, I've tried and have ended up really, really loving the products. They're really good quality.
Their gel
and
polish sticks are lovely.
yeah, let's try and support small businesses.
Yeah, love that. Love it. Yeah.
So until next time,
please like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah. Go on, Susie. Do all the things to help the pod. And yeah, just thank you for everyone's support so far, and to people that have downloaded the book and, you know, done all of that jazz, because the response to things has been more than we ever imagined, and long may it continue.
Yeah. But we'll be doing some special stuff for Christmas. We'll be having some little jazzy bits for Christmas.
And in the new year, we have something really special coming.
Yes, we do.
It's going to be a bit of a change for the Chaotic Cuticle Club, and things are going to level up a little bit. And we think you're going to love it. So stay tuned.
Yes. So we will see you later.